Tonight at 6, new Kent State University winter protocols that may push a school closing notification to you this winter.
This week, President Donald Trump will be sitting face-to-face with Chinese leader Xi Jinping for the first time. We have the meetings and implications coming up.
The most powerful storm on the planet this year, tracking Hurricane Melissa's impact as Kent Stater TV News starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening and welcome back to Kent Stater TV News. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Sophia Lena. Thank you for joining us on your Monday evening.
Before we begin this evening, we would like to pay tribute to John R. Cleary, who passed away over the weekend.
Cleary was 74. He was a survivor of the May 4th shooting here at Kent State. He died peacefully in the presence of his family.
In a campus-wide email this morning, Kent State published its new winter policies for students on safety and class cancellations.
KSTV Lex Radio has more on what this policy means for the Kent State community and what students are thinking of it.
It began with a student proposal. Earlier this semester, undergraduate student government leaders urged the university to take a closer look at how cold is too cold for class.
There's like a lot of these things that factor in, especially when you're talking about temperature. If it has a cold enough wind chill, your body will perceive it as like being so much lower than that. And I really wanted to bring that up in my proposal.
That conversation led to a change students learned about today. The university announced through email that it will now delay or cancel classes when the wind chill reaches negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit, lowering the threshold from negative 20 degrees. Announcements will be made by 5:30 a.m. for morning classes, 10 a.m. for afternoon, and 3 p.m. for evening sessions, with alerts sent through flash alerts, email, the Kent State website, and local media.
Ultimately, I think they do prioritize safety because I think it'd be a liability if someone got hurt with them saying it was safe to go out.
The update follows backlash from last semester when classes continued despite freezing temperatures. Many students remember the hot chocolate stations set up across campus, a gesture that left some feeling unheard.
Sometimes we get caught up with trying to put a Band-Aid on things when we can literally just fix them. And I think the hot chocolate thing was one of those attempts at putting a Band-Aid on it. Sometimes it can have good responses and other times it can be like a slap in the face, especially when it's really cold. And that is one of the things that I noticed is like people were very upset.
Faculty says the update shows progress, a step toward balancing student safety while maintaining academic expectations.
I know they do the best we can. They want to make sure like students are getting, their tuition's worth and they're, being prepared for their degrees.
The policy also clarifies that each regional campus will make its own decision based on local weather and that online classes will continue as usual during closures. University officials emphasize that student safety remains their top priority.
I want to give a shout out to them for really having those connections and really talking to me and not seeing me as just a student, but also as a person who wants to make a change.
The tragic story out of North Olmsted today, the maximum sentence was handed down to Bianca Ellis, the woman accused of killing a 3-year-old boy in an unprovoked attack in the parking lot of a Giant Eagle last summer. The prosecution revealed the details leading up to the attack, where Ellis took knives from a nearby thrift store and went to the Giant Eagle, waving one of the knives in her hand. Ellis briefly spoke ahead of her sentencing, saying, quote, "I just want to say I apologize," end quote. Julian Wood's 5th birthday would have been this week.
A local Cleveland businessman accused of some pretty serious charges has struck a deal. Bobby George, the owner of the restaurant Town Hall, was accused of rape and attempted murder and is now facing only one charge, attempt strangulation. The 44-year-old was originally facing multiple other charges after his ex-girlfriend filed a police report accusing him of violent assaults that caused her to be hospitalized. George is set to appear in court this Friday.
Sean Diddy Combs' release date from prison has been set. According to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Combs is expected to be released on May 8, 2028.
Combs was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution more than 3 months ago. However, a jury acquitted him of more serious charges that would have led him to a life sentence. Combs was sentenced to just over 4 years. His release date reflects time already served, with about a year behind bars since his arrest in September 2024. Cleveland wrapped up a record-breaking cruise season, and yes, you heard that correctly. The final ship of the season docked down Sunday with a total of 53 stops, nearly 8,700 passengers visiting the city. Visitors spent about $1.3 million checking out spots like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Reports show a total of over $2 million brought into Cleveland's economy, steering a new revenue stream in Cleveland.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but this morning my commute was a bit delayed because I had to pull out my ice scraper because of the frost.
Oh yeah, it was so cold.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot colder. We've been seeing some frost advisories, and it's been getting a lot more like towards that winter, you know, because we're getting a little bit closer.
You're so right. I just don't think I was ready for it.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, well, we can go ahead and take a look at what we're going to expect for this upcoming night or upcoming day tomorrow, and for the rest of the night tonight. And as we go over here, it's currently going to be 54 degrees right now. It's for the most part today, it was very sunny, and it was mostly kind of a warm day compared to what we've may have been seeing for the past couple of days. It's been a little bit cloudy. For the most part, it was pretty nice. It was a little bit windy today, but as we go into the rest of the night, it should be more of this clear skies. Wouldn't expect any rain tonight. For the most part, right around now, it's clear, 54 degrees, and it's going to get a little bit colder into the night. The night's low is actually going to be 36 degrees. It's going to get colder as we go towards that 2 a.m. Area. And then as we go into tomorrow, it should be more of the same nice weather where it's a little bit more sunny. For the most part, it's going to be colder in the morning, more frost as we saw past couple of days. And it's going to be more sunny in the afternoon. We're going to see more of that sun come out. So maybe you won't want to wear your coat in the afternoon. But for the most part, it's going to be clear skies. It's going to be a little bit windy tomorrow, 50 miles per hour. But for the most part, it's going to be a very nice day, very similar to what we saw today. And so I wouldn't expect any rain, but tonight I expect it to be cold and dry, but look out tomorrow for it to be sunny. Now let's go back to Sydney and Sophia for more news updates.
Thanks, Ryan. We're also following the strongest storm of the year.
In Jamaica, the rare Category 5 storm is reaching winds of 175 miles per hour.
Officials of the National Hurricane Center warn up to 40 inches of rain and 13 feet of storm surge. They're most worried about damage that will cut off access to communities.
Melissa's outer bands are already lashing Jamaica with wind and rain. Hurricane conditions are expected to arrive on the island Monday night.
It appears virtually certain that the core of a powerful hurricane is going to move over Jamaica. We don't know precisely where, but for all intents and purposes, it doesn't matter because the rainfall, the heavy rainfall and the catastrophic flooding at this point appear mostly locked in.
Kingston, Jamaica's mayor sounding the alarm over the weekend.
We have never had the experience of a Category 4 or Category 5 hurricane. This is going to be huge.
The strongest known storm to affect the island was Category 4 Hurricane Gilbert in 1988. It destroyed more than 100,000 homes, wiped out power and communications, and killed 45 people. As Melissa intensifies to a Category 5, mandatory evacuation orders are already in place for several vulnerable communities, including parts of Kingston.
The time for preparation is all but over.
Jamaica will not only endure Melissa's torrential rain, but will also have to contend with days of ferocious winds. The most extreme winds will likely occur as Melissa tracks over Jamaica on Monday night into Tuesday.
All of the island will experience even up to 20 inches of rainfall over sections of your area. So if you are in a flood-prone area, anywhere across the country, you can expect that flooding is going to occur.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
A familiar face may be running again for the next presidential election. We have the details on Kamala Harris' BBC's interview after the break.
All shapes and sizes are getting into the October festivities. We show you this year's Halloween cosplay.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
As part of its public health mission, the scientists and staff at FDA work to protect the American public by getting the accurate, science-based information they need to use medications wisely.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. While the White House construction is underway in D.C., President Donald Trump is traveling on Air Force One for U.S. foreign policy deals.
Following the Trump administration, and joining us now is KSTV Kayla Gleason. Good evening, Kayla.
Good evening, Sydney and Sophia. Yes, Trump has been traveling in Asia this week on a political tour of several countries. President Trump said the U.S. and China have reached a framework agreement on trade. This comes the same week Trump will meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Today,
I believe that we have the framework for the two leaders to have a very productive meeting for both sides.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Sunday outlining the framework for a U.S.-China trade deal to avoid imposing an additional 100% tariff on Chinese imports.
I think it will be fantastic for U.S. citizens, for U.S. farmers, and for our country in general.
President Donald Trump is set to meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping Thursday in South Korea on the final leg of Trump's three-country tour of Asia. On Air Force One over the weekend, Trump previewed what he hopes to achieve with the meeting.
A complete deal. I want our farmers to be taken care of, and he wants things also. We're going to be talking about fentanyl, of course. I think we have a really good chance of making a very comprehensive deal.
Halting Chinese exports of fentanyl's precursor chemicals was part of the framework U.S. and Chinese negotiators reached. On another component of the framework, Bessent said China will make substantial purchases of U.S. soybeans.
I'm also anticipating that we will get some kind of a deferral on the rare earth export controls that the Chinese had discussed.
Also, the two leaders are expected to finalize a deal to allow TikTok's U.S. operations to continue. In September, the White House announced an American investor group led by Oracle's Larry Ellison would operate the app's algorithm in the U.S. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Today, President Donald Trump met with Japan's Emperor Naruhito at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo, Japan, 6 years after they last met. The two spoke for about a half hour, and Trump described Naruhito as a great man afterward. Trump also said he is open to meeting with North Korea. The president said he would extend his trip in Asia if North Korea's President Kim Jong-un agreed to meet with him.
Mr. President, you talked about North Korea on your way here. Have you heard anything back from him?
I haven't mentioned it. I haven't said anything, but I'd love to meet with him if he'd like to meet. I got along great with Kim Jong-un. I liked him. He liked me. If he wants to meet, I'll be in South Korea.
Would you extend your trip in order to try to meet
Say it.
Kim? Would you extend your trip in Asia in order to meet with him?
Well, I hadn't thought of it, but I think the answer would be, yeah, I would do that, sure.
Trump said he is open to meeting with North Korea and he would extend it if President Kim Jong-un did agree to meet with him. When asked about his opinions on the recent ICE raid that took place in a Hyundai plant in Georgia, President Trump said he was very much opposed to it. ICE detained nearly 500 people, primarily South Korean workers. Trump said the workers were making very complex machinery and experts must be brought in during the initial stages. Those are all the updates I have. President Trump will finish his 5-day trip to Asia with a trip to South Korea. For KSTV News, I'm Kayla Gleason.
Let us write the next great chapter in the most extraordinary story.
Former Vice President Kamala Harris is hinting she may run for president again. In an interview with the BBC airing this Sunday, Harris said, quote, "I'm not done," end quote. It marks her clearest indication yet that she might launch another presidential campaign in 2028, following her 2024 defeat to now President Trump. Harris also shares her confidence that America will see a woman in the Oval Office in the future.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
This weekend is Halloween, so let's take a look if we can expect some nicer weather coming for this upcoming holiday and for the rest of the week. So currently throughout Ohio, it's around that 57-degree mark around Columbus. Cincinnati is actually a little bit warmer. It's 61 down there. Where we are, it's around that 54 mark. In Athens, it's around 61. For the most part, throughout Ohio, we're seeing a very similar temperature around that 57 mark. Around that, pretty nice for October. And then as you get closer to where we are, it's again that 54 mark for the most part. Akron, Canton around 54. For the most part, everyone's around the same. A little bit warmer, or a little bit cooler, 51 in Ashtabula. Cleveland's at that 54 mark. So for the most part, we're going to see a very similar temperatures. However, what can we expect for Halloween upcoming? And so far, we're expecting it to be 49 degrees. So we're a couple days out, but this might change. It's going to be a little bit some rain in the morning. Shouldn't carry on into the rest of the day. It's going to be cloudy throughout the rest of the day, and then for the night, it's going to be a little bit colder. So it's going to be about 38 degrees. The humidity for the most part during the day is going to be around 75. So it's going to be mostly a nice day for Halloween. And then as you can, we can also look forward to for the rest of the week. Tonight's going to be that 54 mark. It's going to be mostly clear. Tomorrow's going to be basically what we saw today. And then Thursday, it's going to be raining for most of the day. And we're going to see off and on showers for basically the entire day. This weekend is actually going to be mostly nice. It's going to be a little bit more cloudy. But it's going to be around 49 degrees for the most part this week. It's not going to be too bad. It's not going to be too cold, but look out for some rain throughout the day on Thursday and then possibly throughout the morning on Friday. Now let's go back to Cindy and Sophia for the rest of your Monday Newscast.
No one can compete with the mouse and his house. Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom remains the most visited theme park in the world. According to an annual index, nearly 18 million people visited the Orlando park last year, following close behind the Disneyland Park in California with more than 17 million visitors. Universal Studios in Japan, Tokyo Disneyland, and Shanghai Disneyland completed the top 5 on the list.
The Cleveland Cavaliers played host to Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks last night for the Cavs home opener. Don't go away and you'll see who won.
I'm worried about your parents. We need to show them how to spot phishing emails.
Agree, the scammers are out of control.
And we need to show them how to use a password manager. Plus, help them add multi-factor authentication.
Yes, we use MFA at work and it's great. Great cake. I'll use MFA to verify my purchase. Software update? Done. Time to celebrate.
For more information on how to keep yourself and those you care about safe online, go to cisa.gov/secure-our-world.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
There it is. Keep going with it. Leo!
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Welcome back. Today, the football world mourns the loss of former New York Jets center Nick Mangold. He passed away from kidney disease at 41 years old.
Mangold, who played in college at The Ohio State University, was also a 7-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro.
And we now go over to Sports Corner correspondent Gage Wellman. Good evening, Gage.
Thank you, Sydney and Sophia. Nick Mangold will be missed dearly. Good evening, Portage County. This weekend was jam-packed in terms of on-campus athletics, so let's get right into it. The Kent State football team won in comeback fashion on Saturday against the Bowling Green Falcons, taking the 24-21 victory. KSU had to come back from an 18-point deficit early in the third quarter before redshirt sophomore quarterback Drew DeShields found freshman wideout Cade Wolford to bring the Flashes within 11 points. After junior running back Gavin Garcia ran in for another score, the Flashes won off a trick play from junior wide receiver Deralis Clark. He actually sealed the game with a passing touchdown. How about? He always finds a way to win. Yesterday, the Kent State field hockey team competed in their senior night game against the James Madison Dukes, losing in overtime by a final score of 3-2. James Madison opened the scoring in the second period, but it was junior Maybrit Duell and senior Delfina Laripa who scored the Flash's first 2 goals to tie the game at 2. However, in overtime, the Dukes would find the net early and hold on for the win. And down in Wilmington, North Carolina, the Kent State women's golf team participated in the landfall tradition, and one golfer set the match ablaze. Junior Veronica Kendranova set a program record, firing 3 under par 69 in round 3 to conclude the event at 13 under par with a 54-hole score of 203. No, that's a lot of numbers, but it's good. Trust me, it's good. Lots of numbers. Overall, KSU's team placed 11th in their final tournament of 2025. The Flashes will not take to the green till January of 2026. Now let's go over to beautiful downtown Cleveland, where the Cavs hosted the Milwaukee Bucks for their season home opener of 2025. Dean Wade passing around to Tyson, then to Ball, then to Merrill for the 3. Merrill had 17 points in this game, was a knockdown shooter. Not a lot of guards, we got the injuries to Darius Garland and a few other guys. Mobley, he led the team in scoring. It's another deep 3 from Sam Merrill, the product out of Utah State. He had a great game. And then it's going to be the Bucks shifting around. You're going to find Giannis Antetokounmpo, the former MVP of the finals back in 2021, cans it. The 3-pointer from deep. Big man can pull off the 3-ball. Donovan Mitchell finds Craig Porter Jr., another one of those great combo guards for Cleveland. He doesn't make this shot, but Lonzo Ball, the free offseason acquisition, gets it home for the Cavs. He's had a great start to his career in Cleveland. Why are the Bucks leaving Merrill so wide open? I'm not sure, but he makes another great 3. Cavaliers taking the win at home, 118-113. So, gonna head over to the desk as is usual for a great Monday like today. Guys, so happy that the Flashes could win their first game against Bowling Green since 2022. What do you guys think about that?
It was crazy. I almost had a heart attack.
I know. I mean, on the sideline, it was just a great environment. One thing that Coach said, Coach Carney, he just preached about love, and the guys, they have so much love for.
I loved that.
Team. I know, right? It was just such a lovely day. They got a great team out there.
Awesome, and they've had a lot of student participation, it seems, as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, we'll be right back with more.
Perfect.
Guys.
You got it right.
and said with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite,
Unearth hidden passion.
Come on, have a good time.
Plant seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
Book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Solo stage where the player spends most of it being hunted down by Infinite. The weapon that performed the best here was the Drill Wispen. Its ability to...
He finally is like, I get it now. I get it. I have worth because I'm me. And I really liked it a lot. Like, I'm not...
What are you staring at? How do you know it's me? No.
You think you're just checking your messages or telling a friend you're on your way. They could be the last words you ever type. Make sure you get where you're going.
Welcome back. The question of the week, what are you going to be for Halloween? If you're still not sure yet, pet owners in Chicago brought their 4 foots out for a Halloween costume contest and a parade. Costumes range from a dog dressed as a crew member with Trader Joe's, panda bears, to a starring role in Back to the Future. All of the proceeds from the day went to support a local animal shelter group called Paws Chicago. Like, such a fun event.
Oh, yeah, and so cute.
The videos were cute as well. I love stuff like this, but overall, I've been seeing lots of fun human costumes as well already.
Definitely, I think the trend is to be funny for this Halloween.
Yes,
I've
I
seen
think it's
Lorax.
refreshing.
I've seen so much
many.
things.
So many. Well, we can't wait to see more of yours this upcoming week. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Sports Corner at 8.
You can also find us anytime at KentStater.com. I'm Sophia Lena.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine, and I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet, and this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool.
She's my superhero.
Good job, Kitty Cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Did you know that children growing up with poor air quality have smaller lungs and higher rates of asthma than children that grow up with good air quality? And unfortunately, poor communities have poor air quality. IQ Air Foundation is working to change this. Today, the IQ Air Foundation provides filtration technology to schools with poor air quality through our Clean Air for Kids program. Our goal is to help over 50,000 school children every year breathe over 90% cleaner air indoors, helping to level the playing field, reduce barriers to learning, reduce sick days, and increase test scores. Mitigating poor air quality is key to environmental justice. Help Clean Air for Kids reach more children at IQAirFoundation.org.